Once you've lined up a selection of suppliers, it's important to approach them for like quotes to use as a basis of comparison between each supplier. It's also important to compare other factors too, such as product suitability, quality of service, location, and their financial position. As Ian Forsyth explains, it's all about knowing exactly what it is you're wanting to bring into the business.
If you're looking to go out to tender or to get quotes from suppliers, the most important thing from your point of view as a business looking to make a purchase is that you're absolutely clear about what it is that you're wanting from the supplier and that you make it clear to them. So, for example, you're looking to get 3 quotes from a supplier. Make sure you give them all the same specification and then compare what they come back with against what you specified in the first place. We've all heard horror stories about people getting, car insurance, and then when it gets to the bit where you try to make the claim, the car insurance company doesn't stump up. So we all know that, one product that looks like another product isn't necessarily the same. You have to analyse it closely and make sure that it matches your initial specifications. And if it doesn't, don't be afraid to go back and ask questions.
A key element of purchasing is negotiation. Before entering into negotiations with any supplier, it's important to plan ahead. And as Scott Dingwall points out, the rules of negotiation are the same for businesses of all sizes.
It's often difficult for smaller companies. I've been on that side as well, and it can be difficult, but the general premise of negotiation doesn't really change. You need to understand probably what you're willing to concede or not concede in any way, shape or form ahead of the meeting and the negotiation. And also to understand the position of your business. There's no point you as a procurement professional going in to negotiate an outcome that you believe is a good outcome when the rest of your business partners and the guys you work with really wouldn't go down that route, and you don't want to put the business in a bad position. I think what I would say is it's about trying to make the piece of pie as large as possible and look to where you can create a win-win situation for suppliers. Yeah? I think children are actually very good negotiators. So the child that asks for a horse when they actually want a cat is more likely to succeed.
One of the key issues that surrounds efficient purchasing is stock management. In the manufacturing sector, Scott Dingwall believes there are 2 key factors to consider.
The trick is to minimise the amount of stock you hold and the cost, whilst not impacting the manufacturing. So continuity of your business with minimal stock levels. So that's the first piece for cost. But secondly, I think when you look at it, it also helps for new products or improvements to your product. So if you have a lot of material or product in your supply chain, it takes you longer to get new products to market. Or there's a decision made as to taking a cost with scrapping associated material because you want to improve the speed to market of a new product or an improved product.
We've already discussed how much influence purchasing can have on the bottom line of a business, so it's important to build strong relationships with your key suppliers, as over time a good working relationship can prove beneficial to all parties, as explained by Scott Sutherland.
It's important to us because quite apart from the food aspect, on other aspects in terms of our linen aspect, in terms of our water aspect, all these other suppliers, our wine suppliers, it's important that if something goes wrong, I can phone up and speak to them very casually and say, look, we need to get this sorted. And it's normally sorted within 24 to 48 hours. The wonder of couriers plays an important role in our business down south, getting stuff up to us here. And also locally, we will have suppliers drive out to us in their own cars just to get products to us if there's been a mistake made. So it's very important that we have a good working relationship and that neither partner oversteps the boundaries that come into any relationship.
Finally, as Ian Forsyth explains, as with all business processes, it's important to continually review your suppliers as well as your own performance.
It's always sensible to be reviewing your suppliers on a regular basis, but it does very much vary from product to product how often you actually do that. If it's something you buy annually, for example, insurance being a good one that most businesses tend to purchase, then an annual review is almost a logical thing to do. If, on the other hand, you're buying stock on a monthly basis, or some other consumable on a monthly basis, then you probably want to be looking every 2 or 3 months to see, are you still getting the best deal possible, and just spending a few minutes reviewing whether or not that's still the right purchasing decision for your business. When it comes down to measuring a supplier in terms of their performance, I think the only way you can do that is to go back to your original set of criteria. Why am I buying from this supplier? And look at whether or not they're meeting those requirements on a regular basis. You know, if, for example, you started off by saying, well, one thing that's absolutely vital to me is next day delivery. If you're looking at the fact that over the last month, 50% of the orders you've placed with that supplier have taken 3 days to arrive, that should be ringing alarm bells about whether or not that supplier actually values your custom. So it's about looking at what's important to you and then measuring up your supplier's performance against that.
When it comes to purchasing, a clear, well thought out plan and keeping an eye on the detail can have a huge impact on the bottom line of a business. For more information on purchasing, including more on the art of negotiation, visit learning-works.co.uk. There you will find a number of resources, documents and quick tips to help you grow your business through effective purchasing. Thank you for listening.